Hey guys, YouTube Barnhunter here. Okay, and I told you guys like at the end of my last video that there are like a couple of upcoming movies that I wanted to give my thoughts on about like how I felt about them being made and stuff. So yeah, so in this video, this is gonna be like me talking about like one of those movies that is coming out that I just wanted to like give my thoughts about on how I feel about like it being made. All right, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about the upcoming West Side Story remake. Yeah. So, so of course, like in 1961, who of course, like we had the very famous musical West Side Story. Yeah. And so, and now, like next month on December 10th, there's a new remake that's coming out that is actually from Steven Spielberg. So, So, yeah. So, of course, like West Side Story, like in 1961, of course, like that film has really like been looked at as just really a classic over the years, and and something that was really like kind of like revolutionary about the original West Side Story is that it really did kind of like spawn like a lot of like very popular musicals that are really like really just part of like pop culture today. Because prior to like the original West Side Story being released, like aside from like Disney films, like there really weren't like a whole bunch of like popular musicals that people really do seem to really know of today. Yeah, but with after like the release of the original West Side Story, like it really did kind of like a spark like a real trend of very popular musicals that have really just really become like very popular, and people really do like from know of them today. Like West Side Story, like it came out in 1961, and and just over the years we just like had like hit after hit with like a whole bunch of like different musicals that came out. Of course, like following West Side Story, we had like other musicals. We had like Mary Poppins, The Sound of Music, Fiddler on the Roof, Grease, like just some very popular musicals that have like that did come out like after West Side Story, and they have just really become like classics, and they really are just like very popular today. So of course, like the original West Side Story really did leave like a really big impact along the like the world of like musicals. As far as like at least adapting them to film. Yeah, and so and so now next month we are getting a remake. So so how do I really feel about this remake coming out? Well, it's interesting because if you really do know like me and like how I have really felt about like all these remakes that have been like coming out over the years, especially like in the last 10 years or so, there's just been like so many remakes coming out, especially like there's the trend of live action remakes of pretty much every animated Disney film, and it's not really just like limited to Disney. Like there's been like just a whole bunch of remakes of classic films that have just been coming out over like the last 10 years or so. So if you really do know like how I am about remakes, like just like how annoyed I've gotten about like all these remakes that have been coming out over the years. So if you know how I am about remakes, you would probably think that I would like really be pissed off about this remake coming out, especially since like I really do like the original West Side Story. Like I watched it like a whole bunch of times ever since I was like 12 years old. So so I really do like hold West Side Story in a very high regard. It really is like one of my favorite musicals of all time. So given that like how I am about remakes and how much I really do like the original West Side Story, you would probably think that I really would be pissed off about this. Yeah, and the weird thing about it is that I feel that maybe I probably should be angry about this because given that like I was just saying how much I really do like the original West Side Story, like even I would think that maybe like I should actually be pissed off about this. But weirdly enough, I'm not. Yeah, I actually am not pissed off about this. Like, I actually am actually curious to actually see this remake. I mean, I really don't know what it is about it, but I guess it just comes from the fact that like when I was younger, when I would like watch the original film, just seeing like how old it was, seeing how it was from 1961, as a as I was younger watching it, there was always just something in the back of my mind, just like kind of thinking like, will this get a remake at some point? Like, are they actually going to remake the film? Like, like yeah, this goes back to like even before like all these remakes were coming out. Like back when just like remakes like didn't happen like all the time. When they just like were coming out like probably just like very like now and again. And like yeah, this was like the time when like remakes just weren't like being overdone. So I guess like it just comes from the fact that like since I have really like wondered about them like remaking West Side Story before like this trend of remakes being overdone, I guess it really just comes from that I'm really not that pissed off about it. Well, I'm not pissed off about it at all. Yeah, I actually really am curious to see how this is done, how what they do with this remake. Now, with it being from a Steven Spielberg, that does give me like a good hope that like this film really is not gonna suck. I do have like confidence that this film will probably like be at least good, given that it's from Steven Spielberg, and Steven Spielberg, well, he doesn't really like make bad films, though. Yeah, he has made like some bad films, but yeah, his films do like have a better track record of being good. Yeah, I mean Steven Spielberg is like one of the most famous film directors of all time, so yeah, and he really has made like a lot of like very classic films. So yeah, yeah, and I even like reviewed like a whole bunch of his films like a couple years ago. So yeah, so Steven Spielberg does have a good track record with films, though. Of course, like when he has remade films before, like War of the Worlds, that film really didn't wasn't like all that great. But yeah, who knows? I mean, there is like I guess like some potential for West Side Story remake to be done. So yeah, so I guess like there is like some like I just really do have the confidence that Steven Spielberg can actually pull off a good adaptation of West Side Story. Now, yeah, what I really am like wondering about with this film though like is what is Steven Spielberg really gonna do differently, or what is he really gonna do with this film at all? That's something that I really am extremely curious to see because, yeah, from the trailers of this film that have come out, like I'll have like a couple like the trailers for this movie down in the description if you want to see them for yourself, so you can kind of like just get a preview of like how this film looks. You know, from the looks of it, it does like seem that it is still going to be like the original. Like in the trailers, they still like have that famous like whistling thing from the original. Yeah, and I noticed that like they do like still have like it does little same characters. It does still seem to be the same premise. Yeah, yeah, it does seem to be the same setup. Yeah, and they actually do have some of the same songs. Like they still do have the Tonight song in there. Yeah, and I'm not really too sure like what other songs that they are gonna reuse from the original, and are they gonna have any new songs in this? Yeah. But yeah, what is like Steven Spielberg really gonna do? Like, is he actually gonna like do something different with this remake than the original? Because now something tells me that probably like like with like how sensitive people can be these days, I feel that there is like some stuff from the original that probably really wouldn't fly today, and I think that a lot of people would like complain about it, and like some stuff from the original would like some spark some controversy if they did some stuff like that today. So I really do have the feeling that maybe like some stuff is going to be changed around in this film to make it kind of like a more appropriate with how the world is today. Yeah, yeah. So, like, what I'm wondering is is the film like going to be done with the story told in kind of like a lighter way? Because, of course, like there was like some dark stuff in the original. Like you had like, of course, like this, like West Side Story is about like the two rival gangs like they're facing off with each other, and then they really want to fight with each other, and then yeah, and it does get like really dark with like people dying and stuff. So yeah, I'm really not too sure like, are they really going to keep the famous deaths from the original in this one? But or are they going to do like something differently? Like, are they going to kill off some different characters in this one? Yeah, I just I'm not really too sure what to expect because from the look of the trailers, it really does seem like it is pretty much like the same as the original with the same tone and everything. So I really don't know. Like, is Steven Spielberg really just going to do like a shot for shot remake, or is he actually going to go about it in a lighter way? Because yeah, with a story like this, you really don't know like what they would do differently with a remake. Yeah, because there are often like remakes where there is like a lot of stuff changed from the original, but at the same time, there are also like remakes that really do like seem like pretty much exactly like the original, such as like the Parent Trap remake with Lindsay Lohan and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and yeah, and stuff like that. Where like there is some stuff different about them, but yeah, it's set up and everything. It is still like pretty much the same. So yeah, so that's really like my biggest question about this is just what kind of remake is this going to be? Is it going to be something where the story is told like in a completely different way, or is it going to be something where they like so pretty much do have like just the same tone for it throughout the whole film? So yeah, so it just really it leaves me like very curious to really check out like what Steven Spielberg is really going to do with this remake. So when this film does come out next month, I will definitely go see it, and I will give you guys my thoughts on the movie when I do see it. Yeah, and I may also like when the time comes around next month when for the film to come out, I may also make a review for the original film, and then then I will like when I go see this new remake, I will like talk about that, and I guess I'll and then like make comparisons between the two, see like what this new film really does do, like the same as the original and what it does differently, and I just will determine which one I do think is better. So overall, I am extremely curious to really check out this West Side Story remake, and it really is interesting for me to really want actually be interested in see what to see a remake, given that just with like this trend of remakes coming out, I've just really been pissed off about it, and I there is now a remake that I am actually interested in seeing. So it is a definitely very interesting time for me to finally have interest in to see a remake. Yeah. But we'll see like what Steven Spielberg really does do. I mean, I do have faith that like he will do a good job at this, but yeah, it really just does come down to like how he decides to tell the story. So yeah, we'll just wait and see when this film does come out next month. All right. So I guess this is all I really have to say about it. I am curious to check it out, and I am looking forward to it. All right. So like I said, I'll have like the trailers for this film down in the description if you want to watch it for yourself. And comment on my channel and tell me like how you guys feel about this. Are you looking forward to this remake? Like, are you curious to check it out, or are you just like in feel the way I usually do about remakes, where you just think it's dumb to remake it and it's just redundant? I get the feeling that people will probably like feel very mixed about this, but yeah, let me know your thoughts about it. All right. So yeah, so so I guess this is all I have to say about it. So this is it for my thoughts on this new West Side Story remake coming out. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say. And there's also another film that's coming out with the trailer was just recently released for it. So yeah, I'll do like a video talking about that sometime. I'm coming up. All right, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.